The understaffing of nurses. Nursing is a widely understaffed occupation, not only in the US but globally as well. And on busy days, it can get up to 40 patients, according to Lee Cornelius. She also said on a slow day, it can be around 10 patients. And she works in a low population area. It can be much worse in an area of high population. And these nurses also have several jobs that they have to conduct throughout their day. They have to administer medications to these patients. They have to talk with them. They have to look at their vitals and everything. They also need to change bed sheets and work for their comfortability. And then once they are done doing these things, they have to write up a report going back to the doctor. This gives them many different things that they have to undergo throughout their day. Nursing as a whole is a growing field, and there's only going to be more positions in the future. It is known to be one of the highest growing fields in the U.S. right now. According to the College for the People, their 2020 study, nearly 50% of nurses are 50 years or older. This means that these nurses are going to retire, and these are positions that need to be taken over, on top of the fact that it's already a growing occupation. This shows us that there's going to be even more and more of a need for nurses, and with it being understaffed right now, it's only going to get worse. With 50% of them retiring and then it growing, we will need many nurses to go through nursing school. Whenever nurses are understaffed in a hospital, it tends to have a negative effect not only on the nurses, but also on the patients as well. The nurses tend to develop emotional stress. They become very exhausted, and this hinders their work that they do with the patients. According to Ball J., Morales T., Rafferty A.'s 2012 study, 86% of nurses reported at least one or more patient care activity went unattended to before their end of the shift. This was due to them not having enough time. They have to run around and work with many different patients. They don't have time to go back and talk to these patients and catch up and see how they're feeling at the end of the day, which is very important because if their symptoms and if their pain changes, this is something that the nurses coming in the next shift might have to look at and attend to. A possible solution is actually quite obvious. We are going to need more nurses in this field, and the best way, I believe, is to talk to the younger generation, not just the elementary or the middle school students, because they don't quite yet understand what they want to do, and they don't understand the way of the world. So I believe that the target group would be best to be high school students. And there's not many organizations that go out and speak with the students about a particular field. I remember personally in high school that happened to me only once, and it was about being an airplane mechanic. Whenever I graduated high school, I didn't even know anything about nursing. And this is an issue because we need people to go after this field. And how are they supposed to find a job in this field when they don't even really know what it is? I believe that ACM could definitely set the course for getting nurses into this field by sending professors into schools to talk to students about the benefits of nursing. Nursing, it pays very well, and there's tons of benefits, and it's very lenient. And there's many different fields that these students could go into just within nursing. But the students don't know about this. Personally, from my experience, I had no idea that there were several different fields that stem off of just getting your bachelor's in nursing. There's many different master's programs that I was unaware of. Having nursing students talk to students as well could help. It could tell them what their chances are of actually getting a job. And with a field that needs so many nurses, your chance of getting a job is very high. ACM currently does not have a program that specifically talks about nursing. I spoke with a college recruiter for ACM, Sue Gabriel, and Beth Nightingale, and they said that whenever they go to recruit for these colleges, they never specifically talk about nursing as a grand topic. They really just mention it and mention the programs that ACM has. If they would go in there and speak to the students about nursing, they could maybe persuade these students into applying for the program or other nursing programs. Nursing is constantly growing, and it's a crucial field in the world we are in. Many people will get sick, and it especially shows in COVID times. And whenever the nurses are understaffed and we can't take care of the patients coming in, this is going to cause a problem. People will end up spending more time in the hospitals than what they really should, and are going to end up getting sick and possibly dying. If we get more nurses in by actively going out and speaking to the students and persuading them into this program, we could possibly help change the course of the understaffing and eventually have hospitals that are filled with nurses, and we can administer proper care for all of our patients.